Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to play with the old block. I had it bored out 30,000 several years ago, and it sat in the garage and got a little rusty. So we're going to see with a rag, some WD-40, and a dingle ball hone. We'll see just how bad the rust is. Looking at it now in the light, I don't think it's that bad. I think with a rag and some WD-40 is going to knock out 90% of it. So if that's all it takes, me and the machinist were talking about putting it in and honing it out more, but it doesn't look like it's bad enough to worry about that. So we're going to see what we can do. But this is the block. Just got a fine layer of surface rust. I think when I wipe that out, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I think we'll be okay. And if not, the dingle ball hone will get the rest. It's not bad. Alright, we're gonna be just fine. See all the hatch marks, still got a little bit, but I think we hit it with the dingle ball, and see what it looks like after that. We're just going to lightly hit it. Alright, we'll give this a go. If I get the speed right. Wipe that out. Maybe do that a couple times. I don't want to take much. I don't think there's any need to. Oh no, that's fine. We're gonna be just fine. There's no need to do any more. Yeah, it's fine. So I'll just do that to these others. I might hit this one more time. There's one spot right there, just a tiny little spot of rust, but the rest of it, the hatch marks are right back where they were. I don't think there's any need to do anything more than that. So wiping it out went from this to that in that short amount of time. So I don't have to throw this block away. Now we will still have to mock it up in my rods. I already have the pistons. The crank's fine. I mean, I'll have the machinist Tim check everything to make sure the clearances are going to be good. I've got most of the bearings, but we're going to have to mock it up and check the deck height to make sure, you know, we put a piston in here, we'll put a piston in here and bring it to TDC and check our clearance to the deck and mark that, so when he mills it, if it needs to be a little more milled on this side to square it off, that's what we're going to do. So I'll get to doing the rest of these, and I'm really happy. That's fine. That doesn't scare me one bit. back to looking good with the dingle ball hone. Tim's still gonna check it out, and we're gonna see our clearances, and he's gonna actually put it in a proper honing machine, because we may loosen it up even more since we're running boost. But now that I know that it's gonna clean up fine, we can use our 30 over pistons. I can get back to work. I'm gonna smooth all this stuff out. I'm not gonna polish it, and I've already kind of worked at it some, because you can see all this is gone. There used to be the casting marks here. I got another block over here I'll show you. All the block out of the truck. I've already gone and knocked these edges off. So since I've got to remove the rust on that block anyway, I'm going to continue to work it. We'll slick it up just a bit. It's not that important. The idea of slicking it up is to help the oil get down to the bottom end faster. It doesn't really help you on a street car. I'm not revving it that high. It's not necessary. It's just one of the tedious things that I like to do. So like these holes here, we can drop this height down a little bit to help it not have to pool so much before it starts running out. Things like that. This little hole here, we can open that up. And I gotta get the rust out anyway, so I'm gonna get to cracking on that. I've got the COVID thing with the stupid masks has been ridiculous, but now that I'm gonna be grinding and have with rust going everywhere, I'm kind of glad I have some of these. So I'll put my headphones in, get my mask on. I've been dealing with sinus infection stuff for a while, so I don't need to be breathing any of that shit in. But I've got my grinder here. Got a carbide bit. Just a single, nothing too aggressive. I don't want to get super crazy. And I've got a rheostat and a pedal, so it stays controllable. But I'm gonna get cracking on this, and we'll look at it again when I'm done. Alright, so after all that time, this is where I stopped. Still got some casting and stuff. I didn't spend a whole lot of time. I probably got 3 hours in this, maybe. So we went from this, the casting lines, all the extra crap. We dropped these ports down. I'll show you from the other side too. These are the bolt holes. That's the bolt hole for the cam thrust plate. So once again, it's not really that important to do this. This isn't a race car. It's not sitting at high RPM for a long time, but I think it might be worth doing. A couple other things I did some reading on oiling mods and things you can do, but I'm not really revving it high enough to matter. Well, here's the front shot of these. Apart from that, it isn't this block's actually a little lower than that one was. Or this is just thicker. So I dropped the height down to right on there and then rounded over the corners. The only time I should ever really get stuck in that area is if the truck's aiming downhill. Which, still, once again, just something to do because I like doing it. So the only other thing I did that might be worth noting is in the oil filter location. Let's see, I'll get my phone out. Oh, flip the block the wrong way. I'll be right back when I flip this thing over. Alright, anyway, so the only other thing I think is worth noting is I smoothed that all up, this right here. Kind of rolled it in. I'll still have to sand it. I've still got a lot of rust cleaning to do. And inside this hole, if you can see, I'll try to get the light just right. I ported that and rounded the bottom out because it was like this. Let's see, get the light there. You can see where it's drilled from this side. There you go. So you can see where it's drilled this way and drilled from right here. And only part of that's open. So is it enough to matter? I don't know. But it's got to be better opened up, in my opinion. One other thing I found that was cool about this block. This one was out of a 97. Yeah, this is 97. Is these holes right here. Those guys. That is for sending oil up to the cylinder heads. Now magnums don't oil through the cylinder heads, or you know, through the rocker shafts. It doesn't have rocker shafts, so that's an old school thing. The early blocks had that. Some of them, not all of them. Like this is the 99 Dakota, doesn't have those passages. So that's going to be it for this video. That's about all I'm going to do to the block modification wise. Now I've just got to get all the rust off. I think I'm probably taking everything to the machine shop Tuesday because I got to take a day off to go to the doctor, so it's just going to work out. I do think I'm going to clean it up here at the house just to get all the crap out of it. I'll put some bearings in, I'll put the crank in, put a couple pistons on some rods, and start checking deck clearance here just because I'm curious. And I've still got to work on figuring out the heads, and I'm sure there's a lot of other things I'm forgetting. I still got to order push rods, still got to order lifters, all the gaskets. I think I actually have a high volume oil pump already. I'm going to go ahead and get a windage tray if I can find one. That UT Awesome, or that place sells a cover that goes over the lifters in between it and the intake to keep the heat away from it. I want to do that too. The intermediate shafts are just pressed together, the gears just pressed on, so they're known for slipping once you put a high volume or a high pressure pump on. So we want to go ahead and get an upgraded shaft that's pinned and just heavier duty, so I'll worry about that breaking. We'll try to address all the things that might break next as best I can with the budget I have. So anyway, stay tuned, we'll get this thing back together. Thank you for watching.